tell you where my help come in. I tell you where my help come in. It coming from the Lord.
So this is something else I recorded for my choir for rehearsals, but it's a really good example of where ear training, specifically identifying intervals and being able to sing different intervals, actually comes in really handy to try and navigate difficult harmonies. So halfway through this chorus, the key signature completely changes. Now, people with a good ear can sort of naturally just find their way through it, but some people find it a bit more difficult to catch it. And here's again how intervals can really help. So let's single out the tenors just for a minute. Listen to this.
I tell you where my help come in. I tell you where my help come in.
So I just want you to hear the difference between the first one. I tell you where my help, da 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 da, and then da 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 da. I tell you where my help. So it's the difference between those first two notes. The way I remember it is the first one is a whole step. I tell you where my hand is a whole step. And then the second one is a half step. I tell you where my help cometh. So I tell you where my help. Whole step, half step. I tell you where my help. So just knowing the difference between a whole step and a half step and being able to sing that on the spot is going to help you once you've sung that whole step one. If you can't quite remember how the second bit goes, you just know it's a half step and you can just hit that half step and go from there. You could also actually do the same with the alto line. Listen to this.
I tell you where my help come in. I tell you where my help come in.
The first note goes a whole step down. So, I tell you where my help cometh. And I know to go a whole step down. I tell you where my help. So the first note. I tell you where my help. I tell you where my help. So if you can remember that note, la, and whole step down, la, it's going to help you to navigate it again when that key changes and you're not quite sure where to go again, or you're a bit confused. You just know the difference between that interval and it's going to help you get there. Now, legit, that's how I remember things. Like then there's a really mad change, whether it's a big jump or a mad key change. If I can just remember the interval and how to sing that interval, I know how to get to my next starting note without too much stress. Make sure you hit like, share and follow for more tips and tricks just like these.